Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, gorgeous beings of light. This is Almara coming to you with 100 Miracles in 100 Days project, and this is miracle number 72. Let's begin by just taking a big belly breath in, filling your belly up with air, then your lungs, and then letting it out with a bit of a sigh. Breathing in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. And if you can only manage a soft, gentle breath, that's fine, but just follow the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now let's do this several times. So when we finish this miracle, we'll do the first step of my fifth dimension activation. And then a little effortless manifesting quickie. But if you continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth throughout this miracle, it will help build the energy so that when we do the first step, you can fully just slip into that fifth dimensional energy. Just continue to breathe for me. So this miracle is to do with a friend of mine who I'm going to call Beau. It's not really his name, but he prefers to remain anonymous. When the miracle's finished, you'll know why. So he was about 40-ish. Well, maybe he was younger than that, and I think I was about 40, and he was in his 30s. But he had had asthma since he was 12 years old. Again, another extraordinarily powerful being of light, caught in the stuff from his childhood, which I'm hoping, it's been a while since I've spoken to him, he's transcended now and is living in his light. But back then, so we're going back 20 odd years, 25 years, quarter of a century. God, I hope he's got his shit together by now. But anyway, he had this really bad asthma, and I was given a download from one of my American Indian guides that said that if you do this, this and this, can't remember what it was now, but I know that it included getting a lemon and some lemon leaves from the tree in his backyard, and we boiled up this concoction. He forgot the leaves, just so you know, so I just grabbed a couple of leaves off the, what's they called? They're like a little orange, but they're bitter. That citrus tree was right outside my window, so I just grabbed some leaves off that. And this is what's really interesting. American Indians say that if you ask permission of the tree to take its fruit or leaves, then even if you boil that up, the properties of that fruit will still be contained within the medicine that you're making. So that was something new I learnt that day. Anyway, he came over. It's always bloody cold in Melbourne, but this particular day it was a little bit not so cold, and we sat out on the lawn in front of my little bungalow I lived in, and I put this concoction on to boil, and I just did an American Indian smudging of him. And he was laying on the ground, and we were asking for the American Indians to clear this asthma, etc., that he'd had since he was 12 years old. And I was doing a sweep of his body, and he must have passed out or just shifted consciousness, because at one point he went, sort of took this double breath and then did this big sigh out. And eventually he came to, and I'd finished the concoction, which was really bitter tasting, but he had to take a tablespoon of it a day until it was gone, which took about 18 days or something. But this is the part that's the miracle. Within a couple of days, he'd stopped having asthma attacks. They just stopped. It wasn't within a couple of days. I think it happened immediately. But within a couple of days, he stopped thinking, oh, am I going to have an asthma attack today? And then by the time he finished the medicine, which I can't remember, which was really just fruits like lemon and not tangerine, that's not what they're called. They're little kumquat tree. There was a kumquat tree outside my window. Kumquat tree leaves were used instead of the lemon leaves because he didn't bring any leaves from his lemon tree with him, and might have had some cinnamon or some other stuff in it. But anyway, his asthma was gone. It was completely gone within 10 days, and he'd had it since he was 12. It remains completely gone for 8 weeks until one night, 2 o'clock in the morning, he's out partying with his brother and decides to have, you guessed it, a smoke, a dope, a weed, marijuana, a joint, whatever you want to call it. And his asthma's back the next day. And he was like, it didn't work. I went, no, it worked, but you screwed it up by taking that pot, by smoking that pot. And so the further proves what I said yesterday, that sooner or later, the reason that you're smoking pot, if you have to deal with it, whether you're smoking, whether you're drinking, no matter what it is, whether you're overeating, whether you're eating McDonald's every day, sooner or later you'll have to deal with what it is that you're squishing down inside of you, because if you don't, it'll just come back up again. And in that case, we dealt with it all, and then he just started smoking dope again because whatever else could come up in his life, and his asthma was back. And he tried to put it on me that it didn't work, but it had worked successfully for 8 weeks. It doesn't stop working. It stopped working because he smoked dope. And that's how detrimental dope can be to your health, just so you know. Like, he was going great, doing clean and pure, clean and pure, clean and pure, boom. Next day, asthma attack. So that's the miracle. It's not really a miracle. Well, it was a miracle in the beginning, not a long-term miracle, but a really good life lesson for those of you who believe that smoking dope is the answer, and that you're going to get enlightened by smoking dope or drinking tons of booze or whatever else it is that you're doing. Sooner or later, you have to come back to knowing the infinite soul and bliss that lives within you. Breathe for me, please. Now, something else I wanted to mention. I noticed yesterday my volume was up really high, and when I went to check, I always check that the videos are loaded properly, and I could hear this background, like shh, in the background. And I'd heard it the day before that, and I thought that that was my fan. I'd had a fan on because it was a bit warm. But I didn't have the fan on yesterday, and it was louder than what it is. And when I asked Source, it wasn't the fan, it was nothing to do with it. If you guys want proof that Source light, that's the energy, because I've been meditating, excuse me, for huge amounts of time, like 7 or 8 hours a day before I do these things at the moment, because I've got something big happening in my life. And because there's just so much extraordinary energy coming in, I don't know how anyone copes without doing that. But anyway, and Source said, that's the proof that when I say that my voice is embedded with source light and energy, or source codes and higher frequencies, that's the proof. That's it, because I've been meditating. Usually I do, 3 to 5 hours, but lately I've been doing 7 to 8 hours a day, because I'm manifesting something that I really want, and also just trying to keep on top of the extraordinary energies that are pouring into Earth at this time. So know that that is proof for you. If it bothers you, just turn it down. Just turn it down a little bit, because your job is just to breathe. You don't have to have it blaring to hear the source codes in it. They are embedded in my voice and embedded in these recordings to uplift, upshift, and raise your frequency up into pure source light. And you don't have to do anything except breathe and listen, actively listen. And you'll want to burp if you need to, because that's a sign it's releasing within you. So just take another big breath in for me, please. I'm just going to move on and connect you to the fifth dimension, or the first step of the fifth dimension. So I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, and bring your awareness into your hands. And then on your next breath in, you're going to breathe in, point your hands to the sun, and breathe out and tie the energy from your fingertips around the sun. Breathe in, draw all that source light from the sun down. Let it fill every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being, and breathe out and take that last 5% down into Earth. Tie that energy around Earth. So we have a visitor today. That's Tiger saying hello. Breathe in and bring all that Earth energy back up. And breathe it out into your body, and take the last 5% of that Earth energy up and connect it into the sun. Breathe in. Draw source light, golden source light from the sun down through your being. Breathe out and into Earth. Breathe in, bring that Earth energy back up. Breathe out, take it back up to the sun. Breathe in. Breathe out. Source light into your body. Tie the last 5% around Earth. Breathe in, bring the Earth energy up. Breathe out that Earth energy into your body, and just continue to do that. If you landed here, this is your first day you've landed here, it is best to do this standing barefoot on Mother Earth. You can do it sitting down inside, but imagining you're standing barefoot on Earth. And if you must lay down, you can. Most people fall asleep, which is okay, but eventually you want to be upright so your spine is upright. But if you're sick, you can still imagine you're standing barefoot on Earth, laying down, and so on your side, so the energy can flow up and down your spine. Breathe. This one step aligns all your meridian lines, opens up all of your chakras, brings them into balance, and resets your meridian lines from the earth to the sun, which they used to be thousands of years ago. Most people's meridian lines are stuffed up from their head to their toes now. So just breathe. Please. And it's when you're in this perfect alignment, this is the effortless manifesting part of it, you can just go, God, Source, angels, guardian angel, Syrians, Lyrians, starseeds, whatever it is that you pray to or ask for help from, how can I How can I manifest $5,000 this week? How can I manifest my soulmate? How can I manifest a pay rise at work? How can I manifest a new car? Etc., etc. And then just breathe in, let it go, and see what shows up in the next few days. Follow the intuitive hits. That's the most important thing. I have a big miracle coming up to tell you, and I will share with you or maybe I won't share with you all the intuitive hits, but some of them seem ridiculous. They didn't make sense to me. And but after I did it, I realized, oh, that's why Source told me to do that. All right, just breathe for me, please. Alrighty. So that's our miracle done for today. I do have lots on at the moment, so we're going to make it another quickie, and I'm just going to send you just another minute and a half of gorgeous quantum golden crystalline light, an eternal source power, which you can just breathe in. If your body's unwell, you can just breathe it into wherever there's pain in your body. you want to use this energy to help you get that pay rise, help you heal your body, you can do that as well. Just breathe. Open yourself up to receive. Open your heart, open your mind up to something new. And if you can't feel anything, that does not mean that something powerful isn't happening. It just means that you are heavily blocked and you need to listen to these for at least 10 days to unblock your energy field. You're blocked up with lower frequencies. You need to bring it up into the light. It's that simple, really. It's really simple. We've made it all complicated. It's so simple. Just breathe. Okay, you gorgeous beings of light. That's us done for another day. Sending you all so much love.